Niski. They might just have, on that right glove. That's excellent goalkeeping from Niski. Able to push that away, and good officiating as well to spot that in real time. And Niski played futsal at international level for Australia. That's been taken short. Nakamura to Shah. Former teammate at club level with Japanese Rovers. Nakamura now with the Lion City Sailors after also playing in Thailand for a short spell with Bangkok United. Irfan. Apologies for it. Quality up on the pitch side microphones. There's Shah. Goes back for the moment, Haris Harun. Singapore with a very strong record against Timor Leste. 3 wins from 3. Shah there to clean up again. Might just be one of the underrated players in this Singapore side, Shah Shahiran. Incredible work rate, a wonderful game intelligence that he has. Irfan. Up to 54 appearances for Singapore now for Irfan Fandi. Haris trying to pick out Haris Stewart. So this is more like it from Singapore's perspective. Imagine you'd see a change in the possession stats. Timor-Leste dominating the ball in the opening 5 minutes or so. It's pretty much been all Singapore since then. Gavin Lee spoke about wanting to make sure his side had no complacency coming into this contest. Note that the threat that Timor-Leste are capable of posing, especially on the break. And there from Haris Harun, eventually cleaned up by line of thought. Timor-Leste have to go back and recycle. Ararte. Timor-Leste coming into this contest looking for that response. That 7-0 defeat to Vietnam. It was a tricky spell for them. Actually took Vietnam a bit of time to also get going in terms of the goal scoring. It was a quick flurry of goals from Vietnam just before the break, which essentially took the match away from Timor-Leste. Timor-Leste have scored just 1 goal against Singapore in the head-to-heads. Conceded 11. The first ever meeting was a 6-1 win for Singapore in 2018 and a 2-0 win in 2021. And then a 3-0 victory the last time out at the 2024 ASEAN Championship. That's all in the past. A very different looking Timor-Leste side. And the recruitment that has been done. Heritage players coming in. Song. There's Norada. Nakamura. Almost getting it through to Glenn Quay. Mota. 3 around him in red. Finds a way out. Figo to Mota. Mota keeping it in play. The angle just favoured Norada. Norada Abdullah making his 15th appearance for Singapore. It really does solve a bit of a problem position for Singapore at international level. Lack of high quality left backs. Rangel to chase. Is one gets there. Faruja. As well to win a throw in. Last touch of Shah Shahiran according to the referee. It's been taken quickly. Came on in the second half against Vietnam. Very energetic down that left-hand side for Timor-Leste. Nice feet there from Luis Figo. He's such a versatile player as well, Figo. Featured in several roles for Timor-Leste since making his debut in October of 2023 against Chinese Taipei. It's his second ASEAN Championship campaign. Jose Pedro Alves Salazar in the dugout for Timor-Leste, also known as Zé Pedro, taking charge of his 8th match as head coach of Timor-Leste. He was appointed at the end of August last year. 2 wins to his record, both against Brunei in the playoffs for the ASEAN Junior Cup 2026. Really impressive in those playoff matches as well. 6-1 win on aggregate. Sliding in strong there, Brian Job. Shah, back to Haris Harun, Nakamura. Song, it's Glenn Quay. Opportunity here to try and run at this defense, almost. Finds Song. Singapore regaining possession quickly as Harris Stewart. Norada. Nakamura. The expectation coming into this, Timor-Leste will have to be disciplined defensively. Haris Harun is going to find himself in trouble here. It looks like it's a yellow card for now. That's the second time he's given it away in midfield. He's held on to it for a little bit too long. Gave Zahn Cruz the chance to close in. Now, what's fascinating about that is when the VAR looks at it, Haris Harun might have been the last defender in that situation. So is there scope for the officials to look at that and say perhaps it's denial of a goal-scoring opportunity? Something to think about for the moment. It doesn't look like that will be the case. I have seen it happen. So 2 Singaporeans and the referee's book, Yuka Nakamura and Haris Harun. As a high press, forcing a turnover, Lionel. Down to Song. It's broken up once again, this time by Osorio. Figo. Pretty much whiff on that pass from Luis Figo. One of the questions coming into this contest was also, once the approach would be from Singapore. It was interesting to hear that Gavin Lee, well, he spoke about transitions and counter-attacks, and he says when they're looking to transition, the opposition are also invited to go and attack in those situations, and that's when the game starts to open up, and that's something that Singapore are looking to avoid tonight against Timor-Leste. They don't necessarily want an open game. They want to have more control of the spaces, more control of possession. I think Timor-Leste will feel very positive about the start that they've made. That's gone out for a throw-in, but it allows them to step forward, gain some territory. That should be a foul on Ilhan. It has to be a booking as well, and it is. Eric Tam Silva, player from Timor-Leste, to go into the referee's book. Year-old Eric Tam Silva, fourth appearance for Timor-Leste. Only made his debut for them recently against Brunei on the 2nd of June. He was born in Setubal to Timorese parents. Setubal, by the way, in case you're interested, a lovely city about 45 minutes south of Lisbon. Tam Silva plays in the Portuguese lower divisions for a club called Sesimbra. Calmly away from Mota. Shah. Almost underhits that to Nakamura. In space for Osorio. Tidy midfielder, number 8 for Timor-Leste, the 23-year-old Claudio Osorio. Pretty fascinating story as well. He was born in Fatuhada, Timor-Leste, but moved to Northern Ireland at the age of 6 and then to England at 11. Joined Reading's academy. Actually had a professional contract with Reading. Also a former England youth international at under 15, under 16 level. Here he is, Osorio, back inside. Clever first time pass. A little bit of panic there from Zion Cruz. Means Lionel Tan can pick it up for Singapore. And Tan again. He's had a pretty good start. Sort of involvement. Harris. Quay. There's a signal to press. Receiving with his back to goal. Liam Farrugia stepping into him, forcing the pass backwards. Here's one. Tiny bit of distribution, but Harris Stewart can't take it down. He's a very hard-working midfielder, but he does struggle at times on the technical side of things, Harris Stewart. He's been playing in a number of different roles as well for Singapore on the international stage. Irfan. Looking for his brother Ilhan. Is there a foul from Eric Tam Silva? And he's going to be put under pressure. And Singapore showing quite happy to use some variation in their attacking approach. There's a pull on the shirt for Harris Stewart. It's Luis Figo. The infringement. Doesn't look to be too much in that at all. Harris. This is one Marbod. It was a key player. The last time Singapore won the ASEAN Championship back in 2012. He was 22 years of age then. He played every minute of that campaign. Nakamura. Lionel Tan. Well, the cries of shoot from some of these Singapore fans. Surely not. Quay. Cross is being headed back out by John Shah. Irfan. No run up. There's that discipline in defense from Timor-Leste. Sitting deep. 6 across the back on that occasion. Niski. Nicely on to Fowler. Ryan Jom. To get to that, dropped off early. The intent behind that pass, cut it out ahead of Zion Cruz. That's Harris Stewart. Lionel Tan gets his hit up. Song Young had made the run. Just the one attempt so far. Going to the home side. Irfan into Ilhan. Gets it wide against Farouja. Into his favourite left foot, Glenn Quay. Unorthodox from Kyoga Nakamura, but he finds his captain. Shah. Nakamura. Playing with his head on a swivel, and he picks out Ilhan. One has gone out for offside. So a long way to go still in this contest. Singapore at this stage looking for solutions, try and play through this deep defensive block from Timor-Leste. Has been effective so far. There you go. Clearly mistiming his run in behind there, Ilhan Fandi. He's tended to play a big role off the bench in his last few appearances for Singapore. Especially in that Asian Cup qualifier against Hong Kong, China. He changed the game with an assist for the equaliser and then another great strike to win it and seal qualification for his nation. He's on a strong run of form as well. 3 goals in his last 4 appearances for Singapore. Back-to-back goals on international duty. Scored against Cambodia, and prior to that, on the back of the net against China PR as well, in a friendly in June. Loose off the chest from Song Hye-yong. And Timor-Leste will absolutely take this. Osorio. And just perhaps in those instances, you can see Xavier Mota, he's having a go at Osorio. Captain's up and Mota. His teammates to just be a little bit more careful in possession. Good intervention from John. Arante across to Figo. Nice drop of the shoulder. Positive touch away from Harris Stewart. And against Osorio, slides it in to Cruz. And he's met by Irfan. Offside. Cruz. 7th cap this evening for him. He scored just the 1 goal so far. Oh, I've been on, from this angle anyway. Assistant referee on the far side deciding to get the flag up. Here's one. Another lovely pass forward. So Glenn Quay, who has the speed to keep it in. It's very well there to win the throw-in. Of Farouja. Looked like they were setting up for the long throw. Well, it is an option, the long throw-in from Lionel Tardiff. Went for the shorter option this time. Song gets away. Beautiful ball! And there's the opening goal! No, the flag has gone up. Ilhan with the finger wag. He doesn't think he was offside. Well, he's done his part. He's put that away. Finds a finish. And they'll check this. Assistant referee pretty quick to raise that flag. Let's have a look from this angle. Oh, it's close, but he might just have been leaning off. It is a close call, really close call that. Nice finish from Ilhan Fandi from that angle as well. And he's adamant, and he was on. He's looking right across that defensive line as well. Ilhan Fandi. So the on-field decision is offside. VR will take a close look at this to try and determine if they'll stick with that on-field call or there will be a goal for Ilhan. He seems to think it's going to be given. Looking across at the bench, and someone there might have said it looks good to them. A few words for Glenn Coy as well. Just a couple of adjustments being made by Kevin Lee, who was head coach at Tampines Rovers for more than 5 seasons. Also spent time as the assistant to Tomo Gura, previous head coach of Singapore. Really important in these instances that they get the decision right. They seem to have a thumbs up here. There's a referee indicating that he's going to take the opportunity for a bit of a drinks break. Yeah, he's gone off for a drinks break, and he's asked the players to come in as well. So stoppage while they check. So the players will come across. It is a warm, humid evening, 32 degrees Celsius it was just ahead of kickoff. The conditions in this part of the world really tough for these players to train in, to play in as well. So we've got a cooling break here. 75% humidity. And we're looking at 31 degrees temperature-wise, so you can understand why there's been a cooling break here. It is really warm. Just waiting on whether that goal is indeed going to be disallowed, but if you're looking at Timor-Leste and what they've done so far, and instructions being sent across to the team. There'll be plenty for them to be encouraged by with the way it's gone for them so far, especially if this is disallowed, and it looks to be the case. So they are just confirming the on-field decision. It will not be a goal. So we're back underway. Farouja. Timor-Leste getting away with that. That's John. Faruja. Cruz, get it down to Osorio. Mota has Figo in support. Lorada with a quick swing on that. Plenty of aggression behind that challenge from Lorada. Turned into a bit of a miss kick. I'm done. They're able to hold on to it. And Son will take the contact. Get the foul close to halfway. Let's have a look again at the decision on that goal. You can see he's just leaning offside as that is played in. Starting to get frustrated with the decisions going against him. He says he was on again, pointing towards the right back, Luis Figo. Faruja. So that compactness, closing off of the spaces between the lines, working really well for Timor-Leste. Didn't come to Singapore to play an open game of football. It came to shock, it came to surprise, try and come away. What will be the first point that they've ever picked up in the history of the ASEAN Championship. Some time to go yet. Concern for Timor-Leste will be the intensity. Does it get to them as this match wears on? A lot of their players playing at the semi-professional level. There's a shot. Fired well wide by Joao Rangel. It's normally the pace and the tempo at this level that gets to you after a while. 25-year-old Joao Rangel scored 2 goals for Timor-Leste. His first game against the Philippines in an Asian Cup qualifier. He scored his second in that 3-0 win against Brunei on the 2nd of June. Son Young now with the shot. Off balance. A couple of touches. Getting a clean contact on that hit song. Hasn't had the best of seasons on the domestic scene. Injuries and dips in form, but is still such an important player. Moved to Singapore at the age of 17. Pursued a pro career in the game. Harris Stewart. No elevation on that cross. Easily dealt with. There's Eric Tam Silva. Good distance on that defensive header. Harris. Zion Cruz. And quick to try and close him down. That's well defended by Timor-Leste. Win it back quickly. Fowler. Figo. Sounding a little bit like a all-star 11. Names like Fowler and Figo. They do have Fabio Cannavaro on the bench as well. Suspect to me, but you sometimes see players at this level, at the professional level as well, getting away with the push-the-ball throw-ins. Faruja. The burst of clearances from Lionel Tan. Means Timor Leste can stay in the attack. Rangel with the switch across to Figo. Slid in behind, lifted in. Get it above Irfan Fandi. Osorio, first time cross, done with the header. Song. That space to turn quickly shut down and he's being forced wide. Gets away from his marker but doesn't have the proper pass inside, although Ilhan makes the most of it. Nakamura. Stewart. Bit of trouble. Finds room away from Fowler. Nakamura. He's kept himself onside. Flag looks to be staying down for the moment. It's Glenn Quay. Ilhan and Song in the box. Stewart is there as well. Can't pick out a red shirt. Nakamura. It's the skies on their pass into Stewart. Goes up wide to Noor Adam. Ilhan will be looking to attack the cross. It's Ilhan! No questions this time. It's Singapore who get their opening goal, and it's Ilhan Fandi once again. Three goals in his last three appearances for his nation. Ilhan Fandi, who gets the start this evening, gets the breakthrough. They had to wait, but that was a finish worth waiting for. Super timing on his movement. Just have a look at Ilhan. He was the only one in there. Just drops in behind on the defender's blind side, and that's a well-timed run in between the central defenders. And a word on the quality of the cross from Noor Adam as well. Pinpoint accuracy. And saying to Ilhan, here's the service. You go on and finish that. And that is his 8th international goal. So it was looking frustrating for Singapore. Well, that will change the mood and potentially the momentum. Because Timor Leste now, well, they can't afford to sit back anymore. If they want to get something out of this, their approach has to change. And that is something that could very well favor Singapore. Looking unstoppable at the moment, Ilhan Fandi. Nakamura. And that goal might just help as well with the confidence of some of the players in red. A bit of a misunderstanding there perhaps between Irfan and Noor Adam. Apologising for their pass, but he's also saying to Noor Adam he was expecting a bit more aggression in that run forward. Mota does well to get away from Noor Adam. He used his experience to read that Haris Harun. He just didn't have the agility in that space to keep it in play. Might be a problem here for Zenibio. Mota has gone down. Well, good to see him back up. He's limping though. So conceding close to half-time. They do have a set piece. There's a chance in these instances for sides who don't have much possession to cause some hurt from these set piece situations. We're getting some movement in the box. Decent enough delivery, but well read and headed away by Irfan Fandi. Textbook defensive header. Distance and height. Reset in a defensive shape as Timor Leste try to work another opening. Mota. Osorio. Zenivia Mota. Played against Singapore at the 2020 ASEAN Championship. It's his third ASEAN Championship campaign. Actually made his senior international debut at the 2020 ASEAN Championship in the opening match against Thailand. It's a touch inside. Well, there are some instances Timor-Leste is showing good play in possession. It's needing a bit more precision. Minimum of 3 minutes to be added on. Singer Brigade and the rest of the home crowd in good voice, especially after that goal. Narada, Song, Nakamura. Home side happy to try and invite that pressure from the away team. Irfan into Song Young. Tan. Just had to hold his run there. Tan, that pass from Song Young, a little bit behind him. Temporarily holding the momentum of that move. Harris Harun, Ilhan looking for the turn. It's double team, still comes away with it. It's Ilhan Fandi. Harris Stewart with the shot, taking a deflection. Palmed away by Niski. That move coming after some solid play from Ilhan Fandi. And Harris Harun taking a risk with that pass. Nothing really much on that shot from Harris Stewart. Niski able to get that away. Plays his stuff for more for Western City Rangers FC. Had the shot there, Niski with the punch. Irfan. And it's Ilhan. Sticks his foot out, but can't divert it back towards a teammate. Challenge from Irfan Fandi, right through the back of Zion Cruz. Zion Cruz plays top football in the lower divisions of the Portuguese footballing pyramid for Lusitano. There goes the whistle. And it took some time for Singapore to get going. Timor-Leste doing well to frustrate. Quite happy to allow the home side to have possession. And they didn't really have too many solutions until they found that space on the left. Noor Adam with a delightful cross. Ilhan Fandi with some excellent movement in the area. A great striker's goal to find the breakthrough in the 41st minute. Good movement, well-placed finish to get his 8th international goal. And it's 3 for Singapore in his last 3 appearances for them. So something for the home fans to shout about. And there'll be a bit more joy in that dressing room for Singapore. The job is not done yet, but at halftime here at Jalan Besar, Singapore 1, Timor-Leste 0.
En medio tiempo, Singapur 1, Timor-Leste 0.
painful one for Zenivio Mota. And 54 appearances for Tanjung Pagar United. Scored 3 goals, picked up 8 assists in all competitions for them. And also scored for Timor-Leste against Brunei in the first leg of their playoff for the ASEAN Hyundai Cup 2026. Yeah, it's pretty incredible to think that we're celebrating 30 years of ASEAN football with this tournament. Since that inaugural ASEAN Championship in 1996, we've seen such great rivalries develop. Plenty of dramatic moments, finals, iconic goals. We've had generations of players leaving their mark on Southeast Asian football. And some of the region's biggest names have built their reputation on this stage. Why, as well, after 30 years, it remains the jewel in the crown of ASEAN football. Shah on to Nur Adam. Irfan gets it back quickly from Shah Shahiran. It's Irfan Fandi making consecutive starts for Singapore for the first time since the 2022 ASEAN Championship. Murada battles back for possession. Ararte. There's Ryan Jom, 21-year-old, in his debut in October of last year against Philippines. Plays in the 4th tier of Australian football for Redomir Lions. Rangel, Osorio, Mota. Could be trouble here for Singapore. Irfan well positioned. Mota, Osorio. He's looking really accomplished in possession, Osorio. Tam Silva, he was looking for Luis Figo. Let's just gone down here, Luis Figo. I mentioned in that first half, the intensity might just get to Timor-Leste. It's a short turnaround. That's the format of this competition. You have to make good use of your squad. That's why you saw those changes in the starting 11. 3 changes for both these sides. We're going to get a change here for Timor-Leste. Luis Figo is off. And we'll get some pace in here as well with Olaga Javier coming on. Song Yong, Ilham, Javier making his first appearance at the ASEAN Hyundai Cup 2026. It's his 17th cap for Timor-Leste. Plays his club football for AD San Antonio. 23-year-old. There's another one who's to play in several different positions for his national team. Now at right back, right wing back. And this one, Shah, Hui. Manotan. Good look at Shah Shahiran there just earlier. He's got wonderful engine. A reliable player. So availability. Can't really remember a time when he's been out through injury. Made his international debut in March of 2022 under Nazir Nasser in a match against the Philippines. Lovely flick in behind for Song. The Cruyff turn away from Olaga Javier. Nakamura. Norada. Sharp. Best season in the Singapore Premier League with Tampines Rovers in the last campaign. 5 goals, 7 assists in 21 league appearances for the club. By far his best output in an attacking sense. Stewart, that space to drive into. Norada. Nakamura. Lovely shape on that cross! And it's Song Young! Another well-placed header. And Singapore extend their advantage. Patient in possession, they work the space well. Another sweet delivery from that left-hand side. And an unmarked attacker in a red shirt. Look at the space that he has. And diverts that cross beautifully into that bottom corner. It's his 9th international goal. Scored a good goal in an international friendly against Mongolia as well at the end of May. And he gets another here. His debut for Singapore on the 11th of November 2021 in a 2-1 defeat to Kyrgyz Republic. Gently lifted by Iswan into Lionel Tan. Ilhan, clever with the touch, out to Glenn Quay. Well, it's good work, just a little bit unfortunate for Ruja. Past a couple of players in Tan and Quay. Couldn't keep it in play. Nice and comfortable for Singapore. Just making Timor-Leste chase. 2 goals down. And that fatigue, that intensity is going to really start to tell. Now, we're not used to playing at this level on a regular basis, as most of the players aren't. It does become an issue. Mota. Hararte.
That's Jom. Mota. Xavier. Trying to get it back to Zenivia Mota. It was a loose touch. Haris Harun. Ararte loses out to Song Yong. Haris Harun has to get rid. Ryan Cruz waiting to pounce. And Song Yong is also going to be booked now. So the third Singapore player pick up a yellow card in this contest. A lot of communication going on. There is one Marbut talking to his two-player wall. Flag has been raised. Six offsides overall. There's a big offside call earlier as well in that first half. Ilhan, when he first scored, or he first found the back of the net, then chopped off for offside as Quay gets an effort away. And the decision is a goal kick. Ilhan Fandi racing across to the referee to say that there was a touch. Then Quay can't believe that that decision has gone against him. Quay will be playing his club football next season with the Lion City Sailors. Norada. Wild, wayward effort. Got a little bit excited there, Norada. Found himself in the opposition area. The 25-year-old made a welcome return to the international setup in that March window with a start against Bangladesh. It was his first appearance for Singapore since the 18th of November 2024. Combination of national service and injuries keeping him out for a period of time. As Fabio Cannavaro and Palomito Ribeiro going on for Timor Leste. Zenivia Mota is done for the night. Cannavaro, another one who spent some time in the Singapore Premier League with Tanjung Pagar United. Pretty exciting talent he is, Fabio Cannavaro. A lovely ball in. Chance for Timor Leste. Zion Cruz couldn't find the way past. Here's one. So Tristan Ararte, the other player coming off, to be replaced by Palomito Ribeiro. Valuable experience for a number of these players in the Timor-Leste setup. It seems to be positive, the growth in the game over the last few years, getting that assistance with the Heritage program, players registering their interest to play international football for Timor-Leste and making a contribution. Just looking to try and grow the game overall. It's tough to try and play catch-up. They're working hard to do so. Cannavaro and Palomito making their first appearances at the ASEAN Hyundai Cup 2026. For Palomito, it's a senior international debut for him, the 21-year-old. Also plays for AD San Antonio. A special moment for Palomito. And for Fabio Cannavaro, his fourth international appearance for Timor-Leste. 19-year-old who's back with SLB Laulara in the Liga Timorense. Shah Niski flying out with the punch, and he finds a teammate with that as well. Fabio Cannavaro to Osorio, who's taken over the armband. Step over, Osorio, and touch it back inside. It's Palomito Ribeiro with that shot, as Singapore will make a change here. Jacob Mala. And Shawalanwa, both coming on. Irfan Fandi and Song Eong. Get a bit of a rest. Does look like Jacob Mala will drop into central defence alongside Haris Harun. He's a utility player, is Jacob Mala, can play in midfield as well. Shawalanwa on for Song Eong, so it looks like Singapore might be going for a few more goals here. Shawal with the cross, that's gone deep for Glenn Quay. Well defended under pressure, Liam Ferrugia. Shawalanwa scored the opening goal against Cambodia, making his 54th appearance for Singapore. He's got a very strong goal-scoring record at this level, 20 goals for Shawal. For Glenn Quay, just the 2 international goals. Both of those scored against Thailand in a friendly in November of last year. So it will be Nakamura on the delivery. 4 red shirts, unmarked at the moment. You've also got Harris Stewart in front of the goalkeeper. Shawal. Doradam. Not enough depth on that cross. Nakamura. Quay. Decent idea. Now we'll go out for a throw-in to Singapore. Two more changes here for Timor-Leste. Number 19, Alexandro Lemos is coming on for Zion Cruz. Rangel is also off, and he'll be replaced by Ignacio da Silva. Alexandro Corsino Lemos, the number 19. He's coming on for Timor-Leste as Jacob Mala gets in there, puts it straight out for a goal kick, no nonsense. Corsino Lemos making his second appearance at this tournament. So came on in the second half against Vietnam. His 9th cap for Timor-Leste. Plays for Karketu Dili. Fabio Cannavaro. Turned over momentarily, but it's back with the team in white. Olaga Xavier back to Cannavaro. Nakamura slides in. Faruja. John. Xavier. Fowler. Cannavaro had options for the first-time pass out, especially to Orsino Lemos. They're going to occupy the central defenders of Singapore. Leste's number 19. Nakamura. Delightful ball over the top. It's a bit too much in the end. Easy one for Niski. Plays in the third tier of Australian football in Football New South Wales League One. Western City Rangers, a club that was formerly known as Mount Druitt Town Rangers FC. Has he kept himself onside here? Play anyway. So we've got fresh legs in attack on Natnio da Silva, number 23 down the left hand side, the 20-year-old, his fourth appearance. Does have 2 goals for Timor-Leste, scored both in back-to-back games against Brunei during those playoff matches in June. And he plays his club football in Northern Ireland at Portsdown Football Club. Xavier, nicely done. Cannavaro back to Xavier. Cuts it back. There is Shah. Has the discipline to get himself back into that position. It looks like Harris Stewart was fouled by Palomito Ribeiro. Changes for Singapore. This is the usage of the squad, and they can managing the minutes. Gavin Lee and giving opportunities to the members of the team. Joel Chu and Farhan Zulkifli set to come on. Ilhan Fandi, another strong contribution. Goals in back-to-back matches at the ASEAN Hyundai Cup 2026 for him. Glenn Quaid, the other player who's come off, Farhan Zulkifli. And Joel Chu coming on for Singapore. There's Farhan. Speedy player, very tricky as well. Make the most of the minutes that he is getting in this match. Try and make an impression. 23-year-old. Pick up his 13th cap for Singapore. Moving recently to the Lion City Sailors from Hougang United. Try and step up his game and his move to the Sailors. Shah. There's Farhan. Back inside to Nakamura. Stewart. Back with Stewart. Farhan Zulkifli manages to squeeze across in there, and he had to get it away, Jackson Fowler, because Shao Anwar was lurking. Now look at the foul that was committed earlier by Palomito Ribeiro on the wrong side of Harry Stewart. Got away without booking there for that one. Swinger played in by Joel Chu onto the head of Haris Harun. Shawal picks it up. Noradam. Space for Shah in the effort, a deflection off the back of Lionel Tan, who was in an offside position. Now they can afford to have a smile and a laugh about this. Shah Shahiran, who has only scored once for Singapore in his 42 previous appearances. And that was back in December of 2022. He scored a goal against Myanmar. Some questions about his club future for Tampines Rovers and whether he would also be making the move to the Lion City Sailors. So some speculation around that as we get a cooling break. Much needed cooling break in these conditions. It is really warm. High level of humidity, 77% as well. 29 degrees Celsius. So some relief for the players. So in terms of the scoreline, much better for Timor-Leste. With how it looks, they were 5 goals down at the end of the first half against Vietnam. That's the 2 goals conceded so far. Back underway. Haris Harun. Here's Joel Chu making his 10th appearance for Singapore. Get that pass into Farhan Zulkifli. Whistle in favour for Timor-Leste as Jom was impeded. Jom. Palomito gets it forward quickly. Faruja. There's Osorio. Javier quickly shut down by Noradam. That's a good pass. One for Lemos to chase down and keep a hold off. Want to be strong against Mala. He's done very well to find a teammate. Cannavaro. Palomito Ribeiro. Tam Silva. On to Jom. Here's Osorio. It's up in the left half space. He looks a really good player, Osorio. Battling away was Fabio Cannavaro. Singaporean players gone down. Looks like it might be Noor Adam. And Iswa is screaming at him to get himself back up. because the referee isn't going to stop play. Sympathy from the experienced goalkeeper Iswan Mahmoud. He's had a quiet evening in terms of shots faced, but he's not been quiet. He's been communicating a lot. And that's what you want from someone like Iswan Mahmoud. Constantly switched on and making sure his defenders are well aware of what's going on. 76th cap for Iswan Mahmoud in goal for Singapore. Be on his way towards a clean sheet. His last clean sheet was against Mongolia at the end of May. He has 5 clean sheets at the ASEAN Championship. You can hear him screaming at his teammates, demanding that they keep a hold of possession. He played in that 3-0 win against Timor Leste at the 2024 ASEAN Championship. Nakamura. He scored against Timor Leste in that 3-0 win. Shaul Anwar getting a brace in that contest. Cannavaro. Stewart. Farhan. Farouja doing well. His eyes on the ball. Away from the ASEAN Hyundai Cup 2026. Indonesia in action a little bit later on. Be up against Cambodia. I'm having a shot well after the whistle for offside. And the football will continue tomorrow as well. Malaysia playing their second match of this competition up against Laos at home. Malaysia with a good 2-1 win on the road as well again. 2026 as they welcome Myanmar. We'll be looking to bounce back from that opening day defeat. Xavier, hooked away by Mala. Gone down in need of some treatment. And that is one there again. Getting him back up on his feet. I'll try and see this one out if he can. Alright. Stewart is taken out. It's going to be another booking here. Palomito Ribeiro. Now the first one wasn't an issue, it was this from Palomito. A wild challenge. Takes a bump on the back of his head as well from Harris Stewart for his troubles. And insult to injury. So he hasn't been impactful, Palomito Ribeiro. So there is the change with Nur Adam coming off, and he will be replaced by an experienced campaigner in Amirul Adli. A useful member of the squad, playing a few different positions in that back line. He's filled in at left back, which he's doing so now, and central defence, and at right back as well. Spent parts of last season playing in Malaysia. Negeri Sembilan. He's back with Tampines Rovers, Summer Lutley. His 43rd appearance for Singapore. Well over 12 years since Morali first made his appearance, senior international debut for Singapore, I should say. Against Papua New Guinea. He didn't feature again until March of 2019, so there was about a 5-year gap from his first appearance to his next one for the national team. And he's over the years racked up a good number of appearances, to 43 now. Very strong, hard-working defender. Faruja. Osorio. Well, they might have struggled this evening, Timor Leste, but Osorio, you can see the individual quality that he has. Doesn't lose possession. Slide it in for Fabio Cannavaro. Was Ignacio da Silva. Plays his club football in the Singapore Premier League with Tampines Rovers. Javier. That's Nakamura. And Singapore decide to go for another here in the closing stages of this one. Nice pass from Lionel Tan. Equally as good. And intent from Kyoga Nakamura. That's proactive goalkeeping from Dylan Niski. Sliding out to claim. A real threat in the end. Osorio. Back to Ignacio. That's Claudio Osorio. That's the ball in. That's going to fall to Fabio Cannavaro. Lemos was offside when he first came into him. So probably wouldn't have counted anyway. He's well offside. Here's Fowler. So Singapore with this result go top of the group. 2 wins from 2, maximum points collected, which is a good start. Big challenges ahead. go away to take on the defending champions Vietnam, and then playing at home to Indonesia. Cannavaro. Nicely done. Fabio Cannavaro denied by Jacob Mahler. There's a shift. Nice and quick away from Amirul Atli. They should be getting at the minimum 5 minutes added on. Lifted up high into the air. I don't think that was the intent behind that delivery. That's confirmation, minimum of 5 minutes. Sorio was playing for Cop Ramblers last season. He's also part of the squad at the 2024 ASEAN Championship. Xavier. Harris Harrod is having a go at Amirul Atli. I think he was happy with his positioning, keeping that defensive line intact. Jose Pedro watching on, hoping that his side can get something here. Needs a better delivery from Fallujah. Not quite the best, but he comes back out to him. As Fallujah forced to turn away by Amirul Atli. Cannavaro. Okay, not a bad idea, but once more it was Shah Shahiran. So got himself in a good position. Subvert any sort of danger. Chu. Bradley. That's loose.
Vietnam. Timor Leste. Timor Leste. Timor Leste. Additional time 5 minutes. Time 5 minutes. Singapura, Ghana, 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 Timor, Singapore, Ghana.